Hello everyone, welcome to BIMobject Talks. Every Tuesday we at BIMobject have a new subject to cover, and we do a short 15-minute presentation and a 10 to 15-minute Q&A afterwards to cover a subject of our choosing. But if you want to request a subject that we should cover, please fill out the form you get at the end of this webinar, and we will try to cover that subject as soon as we can. So my name is Emil. I'm a product manager and a product manager for what I will cover today. But enough about me. So today I'm going to talk about making objects in the cloud. And at BIMobject, we're all about hosting cloud hosting services. But we also need to make BIM content, because without any content, there's nothing to host. So we do have some tools in our content creation that I want to talk more about, but I will get back to that real soon. We think that all building products should be available as BIM objects. At least that's our goal. And that means that we need manufacturer-specific content that comes directly from the building product manufacturer with all the correct information, all the correct constraints, properties, values. Because in the BIM process, we're all about getting good information in to get good information out in the end. Now, there's a lot of different BIM softwares out there. I've mentioned a few here. Some of them are not BIM softwares, but we have Revit, we have ArchiCAD, Vectorworks, SketchUp. I'm guessing that's going to be a BIM software very soon. We also have some 3D Studio for visualization, IFC for collaborative BIM softwares, and DWGs for some planning softwares like Peak and Planner or something like that. But if you want to create content for all of these softwares, you're going to need all of these file formats. To create those file formats, you will need time. You will, of course, need money, because time is money. You will also need the different software licenses if you wanted to make it in-house. And you probably need an expert resource per software, because most developers only have knowledge of one particular software. So we thought long and hard on how to solve this problem, because we of course see that this is a bottleneck both for us and the whole industry, to create all these file formats for all the trillion products out there in the building industry. So we want to create a single workflow to create all these files. And that's why we have created two solutions for you. I know it's a single workflow with two solutions, but what the hell. BIMscript and Lena, which is an object creation. I will talk more about later, and Mosquito. So Mosquito, it's a completely cloud-based solution. You actually make BIM objects inside of your browser. And there are two versions of it. There's one that creates simple, boxy objects, like a box or several boxes put together, and then we attach data. We also have one that creates layered systems for such things as roofs, floors, or walls. So what that is, that with an online object development, we can actually do sort of a PIM to BIM workflow. So you can extract information from your PIM system, and then we can bulk upload that into our Mosquito solution for the layered systems. And then we can create BIM content for those layered systems on the fly, or in the cloud, so to say. You also get live 3D representation, which is good for the user to be able to see. You can also add property sets with our cloud-based solutions. So we have a cloud-based property solution, which is called BOPS. There's another talk about that with my colleague Matthew Jackson, which you can try to listen into. But those cloud-based property sets can then be added to these objects on demand. So if you're in the UK, for example, you have something called Kobe. I'm sure you all heard of it if you're in the BIM industry. And that can actually be added for the objects if you are a UK architect. And that's why we have it cloud-based, because we're a global company and we have different property sets that needs to be added in different countries. So we create the base geometry, but we keep the property sets separate. Of course, we have some basic properties that always are in the objects, but all these standardization property sets needs to be externalized. And of course, then we can publish these files on BIMobject.com to get all the benefits that comes from that. And we also get these native files for these applications. And currently for Mosquito, we create only Revit and ArchiCAD files, but more to come soon. So that was Mosquito. The next tool that we use, both internally and actually externally as well. So we provide this tool for other development companies and users to create BIM objects themselves. And BIMscript Lena is a plugin for Rhinoceros 5, which is a very robust 3D software that can handle a lot of file formats. So what we do with this plugin is that we take in CAD CAM files and import them into Rhino. Then we add parameters and upload to the BIMobject Cloud to actually create these native files all on a BIMobject product page. So without even any prior knowledge of how to create BIM files for all these systems, so for Revit, ArchiCAD, Vectorworks, SketchUp, DWG, AutoCAD, and IFC, you will be able to create BIM files with just a little bit of training. And that, of course, it increases the amount of people that can actually develop to these different softwares, and it reduces the bottleneck that we have in the content development industry. And this tool, of course, is continuously developed and features are added. We have actually a big release at the end of this month or a little bit later. So hopefully you will tune in to my webinar that I will host then to know all about the new features in BIMscript and Lena. So as I said, this is very simple. It's a simple workflow. And I just want to show you a sped up video here of the whole process. So this is one of my developers that's recorded this, and he took the reference file and actually remodeled it because it was a CAM file, so a computer-aided manufacturing file, which have all the small details. And you all know that if you put that into a BIM project, it will actually explode your file, or at least make it very, very slow. So he remodeled everything or cleaned up a few bits to be able to have these objects work in a BIM environment. So as you can see here, he's remodeling, and I will continue to do so. He creates a different LOD, so level of details, which corresponds to in Revit to coarse, medium, and fine. As you can see here, the 100 box. And here we go. We now come into the Lena part. So this is the plugin that we use, which are used to create different parameters, parameter options, and then to create logic behind these parameters. So you can, at the current version of Lena, you can create discrete parameters So basically on and offs, or discrete sizes, and material options. But we're actually, in about a month's time, we're releasing a new version of this plugin, which you will be able to create ranged parameters. And this is something that we really think will increase the usability of this plugin by tenfolds. So instead of just having discrete sizes, you can have a ranged parameter so you can have a table from 1 meter to 2 meters, for example. You can create extrusions, which you can extrude based on a ranged parameter, and so on. So it's going to be a big improvement. And of course, we are developing this tool a lot. As I said, this is my baby. I'm working full-time on this project right now to add new features and improve the output of BIMscript and Lena. So you can see here he creates logic. He can actually then preview his work. Let's see. Preview his work inside of the plugin, which means that you don't have to have any of the softwares to be able to create content. And it's very easy as well. So you can, with a few hours of training, you can actually do this yourself, even if you have no prior knowledge of BIM content creation. So that's why we recommend this to both manufacturers and developers, because as a manufacturer, you can do this yourself and save a lot of time and money. Now, we do have one too many. We do have some conditions for using this tool. You should be able to, it's free, but you need an accreditation. So we do have live hackathons, workshops that we sell, and also online accreditations. The next one we're having is an online one, which is in the middle of May. And then we have a hackathon in Munich in the end of May, but also we're doing one in Sweden in September and one in the US coming this autumn. So there's a lot of events coming up where you can actually learn and get accredited to use these, this. And please, if you want to look at some of the content that has been created with these tools, Svedbergs is a good brand to search for, which has been created with BIMscript and Lena, and Firmacell has been created with Mosquito. And please go into BIMobject.com/hackathon to get the latest information about our events, our accreditation webinars, and our hackathons. I also want to promote coming talks that we're having. So for manufacturers, we're having one called Optimizing Product Pages next week. And after that, we have a Vectorworks app talk, so for people using Vectorworks. And previous, we have presented our Revit app, our ArchiCAD app, and our search function. So these are all available on our YouTube channel.